Happening now, an update on a story we broke here at WNY News Now. The wreckage of a plane that went down near Jamestown has been recovered, the latest in the investigation. Plus, why soon it will be looking a bit more like Christmas in the Jamestown area.
And the sun is out the clouds have parted for today. The sun is out and it's going to be much warmer as we go through the week. I'll tell you about it next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Debris of the twin-engine aircraft that crashed near the Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport on Sunday have been recovered and will now be examined by investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board. The aircraft, while traveling from North Carolina to Jamestown on Sunday, crashed in a heavily wooded area near the airport after losing contact with air traffic control during inclement weather conditions. Now, the remains of the plane are now headed to Tennessee for further investigation. Chautauqua County Sheriff Jim Quattrone says the plane's pilot, Alan Fuller, and two passengers, Valerie Holmes and Linda Edwards, died on impact. The three, Quattrone says, all knew each other and lived in northern Pennsylvania. Now, as first reported by WNY News Now, several law enforcement agencies and fire departments started searching for the wreckage near the Fluvanna Fire Department Station 2 on the Chautauqua County Airport grounds at around 7:30 on Sunday. The wreckage was later discovered by first responders mid-Monday morning. Well, the city of Jamestown man has pled guilty to possession of firearms in furtherance of drug trafficking. The U.S. Attorney's Office announced that 23-year-old Omar Vera Velasquez entered the plea in a Buffalo courtroom yesterday. Prosecutors say the man sold and distributed heroin out of the Jamestown area in September 2019 and possessed various firearms in furtherance of protecting himself and his drugs and proceeds. Police raided his home on Bowen Street in Jamestown last year, seizing 4 firearms, ammunition, 2 pistol magazines, and around 60 grams of heroin and fentanyl substance, 2 scales, several empty plastic baggies, and packaging material. Prosecutors say the man is scheduled to be sentenced in March and faces 5 years to life in prison. Well, 2 days after elections here in the United States, and votes are still being counted at this hour, the Biden campaign is ahead in the race to 270 electoral votes. And the Trump campaign is now pushing multiple legal challenges in the process. Karen Kafa is in Washington with a look at where things stand now.
The counting of votes continues in some key states where the election results remain outstanding. Joe Biden's campaign has expressed cautious optimism about what's ahead, and President Trump's campaign has indicated they're going to put up a fight.
A spotlight on the Southwest as both presidential campaigns view Arizona with its 11 electoral votes as a must-win, and the state continues its count.
We want to make sure that every vote is counted, and that's what we're focused on right now.
Neighboring Nevada's 6 electoral votes are also still up for grabs, with more results expected Thursday. By Wednesday afternoon, former Vice President Joe Biden had put 2/3 of the Rust Belt blue wall that President Donald Trump breached in 2016 back in the Democrats' column, after winning Wisconsin and Michigan, signaling confidence.
I'm not here to declare that we've won, but I am here to report when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners.
The Trump campaign, meanwhile, announced legal challenges regarding absentee ballots and more access for campaign observers to ballot counting in Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania.
We're going to win Pennsylvania, but they're trying to cheat us out of it.
Pennsylvania's Democratic Attorney General called the motion more political than legal.
There are observers observing this counting, and the counting will continue.
Trump hasn't spoken publicly since falsely claiming victory early Wednesday morning. He has since vented frustrations and made baseless allegations on Twitter, resulting in multiple posts labeled by the social media platform as disputed or misleading. Facebook is also applying labels to such posts.
And the focus has really zeroed in on some of the counties within these outstanding states. For example, in Georgia, we expect to get an update on the results out of Fulton County, which includes Atlanta, and later this morning, Nevada, Clark County, which includes Las Vegas. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Monday at 9 a.m. They say the tree is expected to arrive at City Hall around 10 a.m. on Monday. Now, this year's tree is a 40-foot tall white spruce that's being donated by the Mazzacuro family. The tree will be harvested from their residence on Cole Avenue in Jamestown. Once the tree is removed by a crew from the city's Parks Recreation Department, along with the assistance of the Board of Public Utilities crane, it will be loaded onto a truck and trailer, and that will be driven to City Hall. And once the spruce is transported there, a BPU crane will raise and hold the tree in place while it's secured for preparation and decoration with nearly 4,000 energy-saving lights. The white spruce tree will tower approximately 40 feet above its base on Tracy Plaza. Officials say a lighting ceremony will be announced at a later date. Certainly, it seems like once Election Day is past, Christmas is almost here. Thank you so much for joining us here for WNY News Now. We're going to check of our First Defense weather forecast coming up in just a couple of moments here. Good to see Alex. Good to see Topsy. Trish, thanks so much for joining us. Cindy, Steven, and Sue. It says in the comments here that you guys can't hear me, but my producer is telling me we should be good. So if you can hear us now, give us a thumbs up. I'm working from home today, which I'll talk about that in just a little bit. Good to see Greg, Debbie, and Jordan as well. I'm getting audio restored from you guys, so thank you so much for keeping us in the know. So let's see now if this will work. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is live in studio today, and happy, today's what, Thursday to you, Dakota?
Yes,
I think I got
it is Thursday.
I do hear you, so that's good.
Okay,
Technology
that's good.
works great when it does. So,
yes.
You know, Dakota, we're talking about Christmas in that last story, but it almost feels like we should be talking about the second phase of summer because it's a pretty nice day out there right now.
Yes, it is. And happy Thursday, everybody. It is a fantastic day out there. You can see behind me from Salamanca, the beautiful Allegheny Mountains back behind here. 61 degrees in Salamanca right now with a dew point at 38 degrees. And hey, did you see the sunrise this morning? Take a look at this picture. David sent this in to us this morning of the sunrise over the Allegheny Mountains. This is in Warren. This is overlooking the Walmart, which is on Market Street in Warren. Beautiful shot of the clouds and the sun coming up. And of course, if you have any pictures or videos of the weather, Hunters WX on Twitter and the First Defense weather page on Facebook is how you get it to us, and we will get them on the air. And please use that hashtag MyLocalWX. That's how we see them in the weather office, and that's how we get them on the air for you. Satellite and radar composite shows you no rain today. I've taken all the rain chances out for today, so there's going to be no rain, but there's going to be a few high clouds drifting in. You can see it there in the satellite imagery. So a few high clouds this afternoon, but otherwise sunshine is going to take us right through the day. 65 was the high yesterday, 47 was the low this morning. 79 on this date in 2015 broke the record, and 14 in 1991 is where we started the day on this date back in 91. So loads of sunshine through the day, milder, a few high clouds through the afternoon, but there will be a stiff breeze. 62 on the highest hilltops, 69 across the lower elevations. That includes the Lake Erie shoreline with a south wind averaging 9 to 18 miles per hour. If you like the sun and the warmth, we've got lots more of it to go through. I'll tell you about it in detail in a few. Justin, back to you.
Alrighty, Dakota. Thank you very much. We'll be looking forward to that. Well, on Veterans Day, all active veterans and active military men and women will be able to ride city fixed routes for free on the Chautauqua Area Regional Transit System, better known as CARTS. Officials say they're doing this to show thanks and honor our veterans and active military members who define selfless service. For more information about how you or a vet you know could take advantage of this. Visit chqgov.com/carts, or you can check out CARTS' Facebook page. Well, a new study finds teens who spend more time in extracurricular activities and less time in front of their screens have better mental health. The study used self-reported data from more than 28,000 seventh grade students between 2014 and 2018 in the Canadian province of British Columbia. It found a positive effect on mental health in adolescents who spent less than 2 hours staring at their screens at school, instead spending their time in sports or extracurricular activities. It's especially true for girls, but researchers don't know why. The findings come as thousands of kids and teens are staying home during the pandemic and staring at the screens. The lead author notes that due to the pandemic, finding extracurricular activities isn't easy or as easy as it used to be, but the findings are certainly something to keep an eye on. The University of British Columbia study was published in the journal Prevalence Medicine. Well, coming up next, a lot more to tell you about. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joins us back with a look at those warming temperatures this week. But first, the latest on the COVID-19 outbreak here in New York State. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. New York State's governor is once again raising the caution flag as the Western New York region's COVID-19 infection rate rises. Governor Andrew Cuomo says while the state's infection rate is low compared to the rest of the nation, numbers in our region are ticking up. He says on Tuesday the infection rate was 3.4%, marking the second consecutive day in the region has seen a positive rate above 3%. The state's overall infection rate is around 1.5%. Now, on Wednesday, both Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County reported new cases of the virus. In Chautauqua County, 14 new cases were reported with 141 active. Meanwhile, Cattaraugus County reported 9 new cases with 111 active. Well, the United States reports more than 102,000 new COVID cases confirmed yesterday. As John Lawrence reports, that's the first time the U.S. has reached 6-figure numbers in new cases. And it's the highest amount of cases the U.S. has seen in a single day since the virus outbreak began.
Despite President Donald Trump's repeated claim that the coronavirus would one day disappear, it hasn't yet.
Make no mistake, this pandemic isn't over, not by a long shot. And it's not enough for us to just know more. We have to act differently.
A report from the White House Coronavirus Task Force is warning states that there is a continued increase in cases, hospitalizations, and fatalities nationally, spreading southward from the coldest climates as the population moves indoors and cases increase exponentially.
This is an absolute killer, and we have got to stay on our toes. We've got to wear a mask. I mean, how big a deal is this when it really, really gets right down to it?
North Dakota has the highest number of cases per capita in the U.S., but most states are seeing an increase in cases, including Kansas.
Wichita has two major hospitals, Ascension Via Christi and Wesley Medical Center, have 0 ICU beds available.
And Illinois.
Compared to just last week, every single one of our 11 regions has seen an increase in the average number of people going into the hospital every day with COVID-19.
But some health experts say it's too late to develop a national testing strategy. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. Dr. Robert Redfield, he's the head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, tweeted yesterday that now is the time to develop a testing strategy to maximize our ability to identify the silent epidemic of asymptomatic COVID-19 infections. Well, speaking of COVID-19, I do want to take a moment to discuss a personal announcement that I have to make. I usually don't like to get too personal on this broadcast because it's not about me, it's about our local news. However, I feel this needs to be addressed. Now, as you can tell, I'm working from home today, and that's because this morning I got the results that I tested positive for COVID-19. Now, at the moment, I'm grateful. My symptoms are very mild. It's almost like I have a cold with just a cough, stuffy nose, sore throat, and just last night, the complete loss of taste. Now, some background, because I know I'd be curious. My girlfriend started exhibiting symptoms last Friday, which did not go away over the weekend. That's when she was tested for COVID-19, with results coming back last night. Now, I did not have any symptoms until Monday afternoon when I began to feel a tickle in my throat. Tuesday afternoon is when the previously mentioned symptoms developed. That's when I signed up for a test. Now, the folks at UPMC Chautauqua Hospital did an excellent job. In fact, I highly recommend them if you need to get a COVID test. The test took less than 3 minutes total, and my results were super quick, back in less than 24 hours. Now, I'll be quarantining with my girlfriend for at least the next 10 days. According to what a contact tracer told us this morning. In that time, I plan still to join you every day here at noon, as long as the technology is willing to bring us together. And I don't want this diagnosis to distract from the local news product that our entire team works so hard to produce on a daily basis. But I did want to address it with you, the viewer, because I believe transparency is very important. And I'm sure many were wondering why I've been working from home the last few days. And certainly we'll be taking your questions too. If you have questions, I will be open to that. And I appreciate the prayers from you, Trish. That's very nice for you to give. And I actually did an interview with our Matt Hummel this morning, who will be running that a little later on today, I imagine. My hands are off of that for journalistic integrity, but he'll be having much more on there. Thank you, AB. I really appreciate that. Well, Dakota joins us now from the studio today. And Dakota, I think one of the scariest things about COVID-19 is the fact that it is invisible. It's a threat that we don't see every day. And for me, and this is one of the big things that I touched on in my interview with Matt, which will be going up a little bit later today too, for the sake of transparency, is that I did come in contact with you and Rory and Matt on Monday. However, wearing PPE like we do at the newsroom, 6 feet social distancing. And at the time, even though my girlfriend had symptoms of COVID-19, I was very much asymptomatic until later in the day. It almost, over in a period of an hour, switched over to when I went home. So for you, I guess my question now is, Do you feel okay?
Actually, I do. I feel absolutely fine. I have no fever, no cough, no nothing. I feel absolutely fine. I feel the same way as I have throughout the week. But obviously, we are going to be taking the proper precautions here. What we're going to be doing is the weather staff starting this afternoon is going to be working remotely. And so I'm going to be in my home office for tomorrow and likely for the next several days here, because obviously they are going to be doing some contact tracing. So I do expect a phone call from the county health department. And we'll see where we go with this. But obviously I will be working from home. Andrew Stevenson is going to be working from home. We obviously are going to move everything remote now while we work through this. And, this is a very I don't want to say it's a unprecedented time, because we've had pandemics before in the past, but for the modern era, for us in our generation, we've never gone through something like this before. And, it is a little bit worrisome, but, at the end of the day, we just got to do the best we can. Just try to stay as safe as we can, wear our masks 6 feet apart, try not to go out, obviously, when we don't need to, and try to stay, as far away from people as we can. Right. But, we're going to be, just as long as, we still feel fine, we're going to be working very, very hard. And, we'll just see what happens here over the next few days.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing, is trying to find that balance with society. We hear officials talking about that all the time, and we've talked about this before. Those who are obviously sick with COVID-19 should stay home. They should separate themselves from people. They don't want to get them more sick. However, the thing is, for the rest of us here, in society, not us necessarily at this point, right, but things still have to function. We have to find that balance, and that's difficult. And for me, I didn't see this coming at all. I mean, we have no idea. The contact tracing will continue, and they'll find out, and we may or may not even know at one point. But it's difficult in the sense where it's like, somebody must have been in contact with somebody else who had it from someone else. And it's almost like
it's
having
like a
the diagnosis.
reaction.
And I talked with Matt about this more in the interview I did with him. But the thing is, until you have it, and even when you have it, like I feel like I have a cold. That's what I feel like. You don't know really what it's like. And it's just, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, because it's scary. There's so much unknown, so much mental health scariness of it. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're at this point now, and we have to move forward on it. So, like I mentioned, Matt is going to be writing a story with a little bit more later on this afternoon, if people are a little more interested in learning more about it. But I want to get to your full weather forecast here, because aside from COVID, it'll be a good time for me to open my window and look outside over the next couple of days here.
Yes, you can open those blinds in your house and be like, oh, darn, I wish I was out there enjoying the sunshine. But you know what? Your physical and mental health is more important here. So obviously we're thinking of you here at the office. So hey, why is it going to be so warm today? Well, a lot of it's going to have to do with our wind direction and the fact that we have high pressure basically overhead. Now the temperatures differ across the region a lot because of how our elevation is. So the highest peak in the city of Jamestown is 1,400 feet. So at 1,400 feet, the temperature is going to be cooler today. But once you work down into the valleys, and of course the lower elevations, that warm air pulls down across the valleys, and you'll likely be going to be getting close to 60 on your 70 near the Lake Erie shoreline and the lower elevations today, because that's how it works. Though the cold air rushes down into the warm air rushes down into the valleys, so it warms up there on these kind of days when we have a southerly wind component. 60 here in town right now, 58 Mayville, 67 Fredonia, 54 Harbor Creek, 67 over in Erie, and Justin, you're checking in at 63 degrees in Randolph, 59 in Olean. And compared to this hour yesterday as a noon noon hour. Temperatures are a little bit warmer in some spots, 2 degrees warmer in Randolph, 1 degree warmer in Fredonia. No change over the past 24 hours here in town. We were at 60 as of noon hour yesterday. So let's take a look at the satellite and radar composite. You can see a few of these clouds coming in. This is what's left of a storm system that was out in the Midwest. There's no precipitation with it, but we are going to see a few high clouds from time to time through the afternoon. But that big blue spinning H right there is going to be in control across much of the Great Lakes and the Northeast, really, for the next several days. Future Scan shows you a few of those high clouds moving in this afternoon. No precipitation out of them. I've taken the rain chances out for today. Don't think anything will happen. We may see a few more clouds influx basically tonight. So we'll call this evening partly to mostly cloudy. Then it clears out. And then tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day. Lots of sunshine on tap for you. So it is going to be another fantastic day out there. Get out and enjoy it if you can. Hey, Buffalo Bills this Sunday back at home at the Bills Stadium, and they're going to be taking on the Seahawks. And you couldn't ask for a better, and you could not ask for a better November day for some football. 68, 69 to 68 throughout the game. It is going to be fantastic. Lots of sunshine. Obviously can't go to the game, but it is going to be a great day for football. They're not going to have any weather issues to contend with. Zone forecast, likely a mid to upper 60s here. Again, the valleys are going to be the warmest today because of that southerly wind component. The rain, a goose egg. No chance of rain at all. If it rains at all, I will buy you lunch, Tim Hortons, if it rains. Next 7 days of your life coming up right now. 64 degrees for today, 66 tomorrow, 69 on Saturday. Indian summer. Anybody who's a fan of Brooks and Dunn will know that stuff. And we could be getting close to breaking records Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. There are all the record highs for you. And yeah, what is this on Wednesday? Chance for rain? Yeah, just a small chance for now, but temperatures in the mid 60s. We'll take a break. Be right back. First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smokin' deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
lights, vests,
please give us some room.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. When you need help,
it's our job
to help you.
To save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
Move over.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
The mother of a special education student at Maple Grove High School is speaking out.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
And Lake Erie is covered in less than 1% of ice as this winter season has entered its peak.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Celebrate its own holiday today. It's National Donut Day. Now, these not so good for you snacks are oh so good, if you can taste. Donut. It's about that's too funny. It's about 31 donuts per person.
Justin will be here all week, folks.
Oh yeah, I know, right? The signature hole in the middle is said to have been created to help donuts cook more evenly. I didn't know that. Another fun fact, there are actually 2 National Donut Days. Of course, why not? The other one is the first Friday in June. That honors the Salvation Armies who served those pastries to soldiers during the World War I. Check with your local bakery or coffee shop today to see what donuts they have. Well, Dakota said that he would buy us all Tim Hortons for lunch, so maybe he'd buy us some
Only if
donuts.
it
Who
rains.
knows?
I did not say I would be buying anybody lunch. I said I would buy it if it rains.
I'm on the second floor, so I think I'll go get a bucket of water, dump it out the window, and there's the rain. Is that a loophole?
Well, you see, now you told me that, so now we know. That's going to be a false report. So, what's the number one rule of storm spotting? That is, you have to make your report accurately. So, if you would not have told me that,
if you did the storm spotting training last week, was it last week? Yeah, last Tuesday, right? I think, or Thursday.
It was.
You did the storm spotting training
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Dakota, thank you. That's it for us today. Of course, we are back tomorrow. Have a great day.